Yeah. Welcome into LTSN Community Schools Day here inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse, a special occasion, an 11 a.m. tip for the 3-1 Blue Devils, welcoming in the 0-1 Great Lakes Christian Crusaders, your starting fives for this morning. You have Caitlin Smith coming off the three-point performance of her life. Taryn Klein with her in the backcourt. Buckingham, who's dribbling down the court here, finishes with an and one to kick things off and gets the crowd on their feet early and often. Nicole Buckingham, the leading scorer for this Blue Devil team, out there with Sherilyn Bannis running the one, Danielle Hansen as well. Derville, Copper, Johnson, Stryker, and Shotwell, the starting five for Great Lakes Christian. Undoubtedly, what will be the most ruckus atmosphere of this season, probably. A little bit of youthful energy in the crowd for an early season non-conference affair. Great Lakes Christian coming in under head coach Lionel McCray. In her first season. Kylene Biggs on the other side. I joked with Coach Biggs before the game. We talked about how difficult it will be to call out the plays and for the teammates to hear everything in this atmosphere. CJ Bannis, the point guard, she'll have to be extra loud today. Open in the corner is Klein. So a couple of quick buckets for the Blue Devils, and they're up 6-zip early. Trying to attack the cut there went Mystic Stryker, but the ball will stay with Great Lakes Christian. These teams met last season. The Blue Devils dominated that matchup, putting up 121 points. That was a season high as Danielle Hansen gallops the other way and fouled hard as she went to the cup. Danielle Hansen at the line here, shot 61% at the free throw line a season ago, knocks down the first to get the Blue Devils off to a 7-zip start. Hansen had a nice bounce back performance last time out. Gets the second free throw to go and an 8-0 start for LTU. This is a young Great Lakes Christian team. Rolanda DeVille, the freshman with the ball right now. Bannis called for the foul there. Both teams obviously with one loss of the season. Both teams share the same situation of defeat, both losing to Siena Heights. That was the opener for Great Lakes Christian, opening up with a couple of WAC opponents. Blue Devils, obviously, that was their one WAC game of the season. They were able to do this early and often and throughout the game last Saturday. A turnover leading to a three attempt the other way. Bannis, the good rebounding guard, will give Klein another try. That one well off the mark as Klein tries to find her rhythm early on. She can knock those down, and when she does, it can be really fun to watch for this Blue Devil team. Still sharing it. Yep. Smith, she was 6 for 6 on Saturday had the performance of her life from the three-point line against Wright State Lake in that 95-29 shellacking. Blue Devils off to a quick 11-0 start. Couple of threes, in and one. They'll take it, 11-zip early. So an 11-0 start for LTU. I mentioned before we went to the break that Blue Devils are coming off a 95-29 win over Wright State Lake. Largest win in Kylene Biggs' tenure. Nice defense down low from Hanson there. Outlet to Klein was picked off. Well read by Mystic Striker. Now can Great Lakes Christian perhaps speed up the tempo here. They had a nice opportunity off Valerie Copper's shot, but unable to capitalize. Buckingham to Bannis the other way. Smith, she's hot, feeling it. At this point in the season, that one just off the mark. A short bench for Great Lakes Christian, as you can see. Just 2 players on that bench, just a total of 7 players on the roster. So could fatigue become a factor for the visiting Crusaders? One of 2 Crusaders that the Blue Devils will see this season. Obviously, rival Madonna will be in town later this season. In transition, Klein steps, free throw line jumper for Buckingham. A little too strong. Hanson, though, on the board, able to finish. You don't need to provide much energy when you're in an atmosphere like this. Crowd can take care of that. The Devils went up against a backcourt that really struggles. Wright State Lake, they struggled to possess the ball, keep possession of the ball. Smith open here in transition. Likes what she sees and knocks it down. Smith was 6 of 7 from deep in that Wright State Lake game. Had 18 points in the first half. Blue Devils off to a 16-0 start here. Smith finished with 20 in that one. Her career high is 24. She's already got 2 today. Could this be the start of something for Caitlin Smith? Kylene Biggs told me after that game she is hoping that it continues. Bannis hit a couple in the season opener. Couldn't knock that one down. Galloping in transition. Great Lakes Christian looking for back-to-back possession to the bucket after going down 16-0 to start. Couldn't find it, and here comes Bannis. Can the Blue Devils up the tempo today? Smith open again in the corner. Knocks it down! Caitlin Smith is on fire. 3 for 4. Here we go again. The sharpshooter from Holly, Michigan. 9 points, continuing her reign inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse. Little 15-footer off the mark, foul called on the board. 19-2 start here inside of the Riddler. Blue Devils are 4 of 8 from downtown. Great Lakes Christian shooting just 1 of 13 right now. That's 8%. Back come the Blue Devils on offense with Bannis, Buckingham, Klein, Rachel Price in the game, along with the sparkling freshman Kendall Fisher. Smith wants another. Yes! Brilliance on display from the three-point line again. Caitlin Smith, 4 of 5. She had 6 in the first half on Saturday. Offensive board coming from Derville. Kylie Biggs has put an emphasis on one shot, and then the Blue Devils need that rebound after that one shot. Unable to do it there. 22-4 now. Smith. Buckingham. Look out. Got it. What a start from downtown. 6 of 9. 25-4. We're still in the first quarter. 3:10 to go in the first quarter. Could the Blue Devils be in store for another 100-plus point performance against this Great Lakes Christian team? Derville will pull, and Derville will hit. Back come the Blue Devils. They've hit 3 of their last 3. Buckingham in deep. Bushy look outside, goes up with it. Fisher grabs the board. Smith is open from the left arc. They'll look to her, she'll pull. Oh, around and out that time. Almost walked into another one. Buckingham looking. Smith tees it up. Off the mark. Another offensive board though. A nice sequence here for LTU. Bryce, free throw line extended. Quick pressure comes on Smith. Derville starting to notice that flamethrower. And now Buckingham's elbow jumper is off the mark. And Great Lakes Christian can settle things down. Do they need to perhaps slow it down a bit, despite the fact that going up against the Blue Devil going up against the Blue Devil defense rather, in a half-court set will certainly bring challenges. This ball will go back the other way. Hope Dollarhide will check back in. Landgolf checks back in. That's the challenge, though, going up against this Blue Devil defense. I mean, what are you going to do in the half court? Your offense is struggling. You're trying to push, but the Blue Devils seem to be feeding off the tempo. They seem to be feeding off the energy of this crowd. Derville with a nice strip on fellow freshman Kendall Fisher, but Fisher recovers with the block, and now Fisher can push. She has speed over the timeline. Drops it back with a nifty behind-the-back feed. Shovel pass, Dollarhide. Exquisite fast break, and the Blue Devils are up 20. Another turnover. Fisher wants to push. Landgolf running. Had to recover. Dollarhide again. Hope Dollarhide right off the bench. Had a nice performance last Saturday off the bench, and she's come in, picking up right where she left off. 2 for 2 now. It's been quick offense for the Crusaders the other way. Turning and spinning and putting up a shot that was blocked was Johnson. She's now 0 for 6. Fisher the other way, free throw line, left arc, Smith, around and out. Smith now 4 of 7 from deep. That bucket is looking very wide right now for Caitlin Smith. The junior outlet pass. Smith goes up. Easy finish and 1. What a scintillating open court, up and down performance this has been for LTU. On a 6-0 run. Smith looking to make it 8-0. Smith was a reliable source at the line last season, over 70%. Smith had kind of gotten off to somewhat of a slow start through the first couple before announcing herself last Saturday And she's picked up right where she left off. 6 of 13 from deep in the opening quarter for 32 points. We'll be back after the quick breather on LTSN. You're watching Blue Devil basketball on your home for LTU Athletics. Back here on LTSN, our excellent crew with you on this early morning matchup. Not quite noon yet. Producer Ali Hadi, Jenna Skalski behind the camera today. You can join us later tonight for a big matchup in LTU women's volleyball. First round of the WAC playoffs tonight. UNOH coming to town. Blue Devils won both matchups with the Racers this season. Looking to keep the season alive tonight. Most wins under head coach Ed Rule. Last year, Kylie Bigstein set a program record with 25 wins as Hope Dollarhide is now 3 for 3. Blue Devils up 34-7. LTU went 16-4 in the conference last season. Off to an 0-1 start in WAC play, but they aren't looking ahead to resuming that yet. Focusing on winning these games right now. Practicing every day, coming out and taking care of business. That's what they've done since that loss to Siena Heights. It was a tough physical battle, as Kylie Biggs expected. Blue Devils at times didn't respond well to that. Late turnovers. Blue Devils really didn't play up to their level of potential in that loss to Siena Heights, yet we're still in striking distance in the final few minutes, which is a positive sign. I think one of the takeaways from that game was, I guess you kind of saw the absence of the player that they lost, the lone player that they lost in Haley Walkowski. Looking to find the source that will make up for that. It will most likely be a team effort, a cumulative effort, as Dollarhide looks to stay perfect. Couldn't quite do it there, but Fisher on the board. She'll pull. Short jumper is down. Long three, well off the mark there. LTU got off to a 5-0 start last season before a 1-point loss to Indiana Wesleyan. And the upcoming schedule for the Blue Devils will have them facing Indiana Wesleyan down in Marion, a rematch with the Wildcats after a matchup with Grace College. That'll be a part of the Leo Whitaker Memorial Invitational on the 9th and the 10th. Couple of big ones for the Blue Devils going up against some tough competition before getting WAC play underway on November 14th at Madonna. That Madonna matchup will be followed up with UNOH coming to town for the second WAC matchup in this home floor. Obviously an early season matchup at Siena Heights before jumping back into non-conference play here is Landgolf. Much improved this year, off on the three-point attempt. Nice behind the back move there. to get down the floor from Valerie Copper, the junior point guard from Costa Rica. She's stripped though. Now Klein, another fast break, saw plenty of this in the opening period. Blue Devils led by as much as 66 last Saturday. They're currently holding a 33-point lead. And maybe they'll double that. Who knows? Put up 121 on Great Lakes Christian last season. Here's the native of Costa Rica with a long jumper, again, well long, and the Blue Devils have numbers the other way. Great Lakes Christian just simply struggling to get back here. They don't look very well conditioned, and the Blue Devils are taking advantage of that. What a start. 42-7. You kind of feel like these are big games, these dominant games where you are certainly the favorite, but getting the confidence back after that tough loss to Siena Heights early in the season, a loss that will be considered an upset, but the Blue Devils looking to get back on track. Most think it was good that loss came early in the season. (42-7). It was Caitlin Smith, once again the story of the first half, 4 of 7 from deep. Ruster bobbled it momentarily, then found Klein. Back out Landolf, another try from deep. This time it's off. Ruster finishes though. Had the chance to speak with Alex after that last win over Wright State Lake. Very satisfied with the performance down low between her and Hansen. Ruster went 3 for 6 from downtown in that win over Wright State Lake for 11 points off the bench. Blue Devils bench played very well. I mean, you look at Kendall Fisher, who had 18 in that one. Ruster had 11, as I mentioned. Landolf had 9 off the bench. Dollar Hyde added 7 in a very efficient performance. Price had 6. And now, once again, the reoccurring theme of the last 2 games is forcing the opponent to turn the ball over. And Bannis back in, the all-time assist leader, finding Hansen as she drove to the cup and got fouled. She's done well to do that early on. I mentioned fatigue. I mentioned the conditioning aspect of this one. Great Lakes Christian, once again, you see the short bench that they have. Just 2 players on that bench that can substitute in, so putting them at a simple disadvantage pretty much every game. We'll get a quick breather here once again. 44-7, 6:02 to play. College basketball is back, and we're having a lot of fun here on LTSN. Welcome back to LTSN. Blue Devils in cruise control under head coach Kylene Biggs, sitting next to Kaylee Patton for the 2nd straight game. On this home floor, Hansen off on the first free throw attempt. Junior from East Lansing. She was one player that really struggled in the first half against Siena Heights. Blue Devils were able to overcome those struggles at times, though, which made it an interesting game. Took the lead going into halftime. They're in the 3rd quarter, but Siena Heights kind of had the advantage. They were the more calm and composed team in the 4th quarter. You'll have matchups like that pretty often when you get into WAC play. A much improved Siena Heights team, a much improved Michigan Dearborn team. Obviously, Indiana Tech up at the top as Buckingham knocks that down. Nicole had a brilliant couple of first couple of performances in that Blue Devil Tip-Off Classic. Went for 27 in the opener, 22 in the second game. Hansen can push. Buckingham will look again. She'll decide to dump down low for the more efficient opportunity, and Hansen hits it. Mystic striker, guard from Harlem High School. She'll have to be one of the leaders on this team along with Derville. Still finding their way. I mentioned that loss to Siena Heights that they had. It was a 30-point defeat. Buckingham the other way for LTU. They've hit the 50 mark. Rare mistake there. Saw Great Lakes Christian trying to move in transition in that first quarter. That seems to be the most positive of this performance so far, the silver lining, if you will. Could that be a positive aspect for them as the season moves on? Still under 10 points. Blue Devils held Wright State Lake to under 30 after they put up 77 in their previous game against Grace College. It was an outstanding statistic. The fact that Wright State Lake had put up 43 in the fourth quarter against Grace College in their previous game, but were held to under 30 points by LTU in the subsequent performance. Hope Dollarhide back in. She's done well to move without the ball in this first half. Travel called here. Another turnover. That is now the 9th of the first half for Great Lakes Christian. Shooting just 4 of 31. Here come the Blue Devils at a 58% clip from the field. They've worked a bit more inside in this second quarter, but they go back out to Smith there, just off. Couldn't find the roll. She's now 4 of 8 from deep for 15 points in this first half. Her second straight 15-point first half. Had 18 in the first half last Saturday. Once again, we're back tonight on LTSN. Big matchup tonight. LTU women's volleyball looking to keep their season alive. They're the 4 seed in the WAC tournament, going up against the 5 seed UNOH. Dollarhide, the mid-range jumpers have been kind to her in this first half. Blue Devils now 52-9. And Dollarhide having her best performance of this early season off the bench. Grabs the board, finds Banis with her head up. Buckingham, free throw line, extended. Knocks it down. Buckingham finds herself now in double digits with 11. Joins Smith, a couple of Blue Devils in double digits in this first half. Spoke to head coach Kylene Biggs at practice a couple of weeks ago as Derville is able to knock the jumper down. Leading the way on the Great Lakes Christian side with 9 points. She has 9 of the 11 for the Crusaders right now. Getting back to the point, spoke to head coach Biggs after practice a couple of weeks ago, and she said that she is really excited about this group. They are definitely going to be a fun group to watch, as they've been today. Said there's some little details that we need to get better at day by day. But overall, a great start for the program. That was after they got off to a 2-0 start. Obviously, they've lost to Siena Heights since then. As we see Fisher and Landgolf and Ruster check back in. Calm group right now on the floor. They've cooled down a bit from distance in this second quarter. Ball is tied up here, and that'll keep possession of LTU. Nice heady play there from Buckingham. making a senior play there. One of a couple of seniors on this group, her and Banis. They've talked about the fact that they want to win the WAC in the regular season and get that automatic bid to go back to the national tournament as they did last season. Suffered a first-round loss to Hastings College. Got off to a slow start in that game. If there was one negative from last season in that program record-setting year, it was probably the slow starts. Not the case today. Not the case last Saturday. Fisher is wide open. Off the mark. Mentioned the absence of Haley Walkowski, the one graduate from last year. Was an excellent player for this team, was an excellent piece for this team. She did just about everything. Tough to make up. Fisher trying to do her best, replacing number 12 and wearing that number 12 now. Once again, if you're just joining us, Community Schools Day is where all the noise is coming from. All of this youthful noise. It's been fun. It's been a fun atmosphere. They've loved the offensive display that this Blue Devil team has put on. 7 of 19 from deep in the first half. Fisher, leaning floater off the mark, fouled her own board, and Ruster chased it down. One of those fundamental aspects of basketball that coaches love, following your own shot. Now here she is attacking the cup with a quick first step. Another offensive board, and Buckingham is fouled. Blue Devils won by 66 last Saturday. Currently holding a 43-point lead. And we're still in the first half. Landgolf will earn a couple of free attempts at the line. Offensive board off the free throw. Certainly not what head coach Kylie McCrae wants to see from her Great Lakes Christian team, but they do end up getting the board after a litany of attempts from the Blue Devils. Trying to push the pace there once again was Deerville. Fisher a tad bit out of control, but fouled. Great Lakes Christian shot under 30% last time out against Siena Heights. And right now, just 5 for 38. Dismal shooting performance. 1 of 7 from deep. Blue Devils have 16 assists right now. And that's a stat that's really standing out. The ball movement has been spectacular. Spoke to Nicole Buckingham about that ball movement after the opening win on the season. That Ohio Christian win when Buckingham went off for 27. And she told me that, you know, I asked her about her performance, and again, giving her credit on it, and she said, you probably have to talk to my teammates because it was the ball movement, and told me that it simply is more fun to play when that ball is skipping around, leading to open looks, and a lot of Blue Devils getting involved in this one. Buckingham and Smith both in double digits right now. Smith has 15, Nicole has 11. It's like we have a foul called here on Ruster. She also played well last Saturday. Under 30 seconds to play in the opening half. Could the Blue Devils be on their way to holding an opponent to under 30 points for the second straight game? Wide open. That's been the case far too often in this opening half for Great Lakes Christian. They'll have to talk things over. Simply shaking her head was Lionel McCrae. Great Lakes Christian will head to the locker room down 59-13. What a spectacular offensive resurgence over these last couple of games for LTU. On the home floor in front of plenty of young fans. We'll be back in the second half. You're watching Blue Devil basketball on LTSN, your home for Blue Devil Athletics. Welcome back to LTSN. Welcome back inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse. Jason Ross Jr. here with you. Producer Ali Hadi, Jenna Skalski behind the cameras on this afternoon. Still 9 minutes away from it being the afternoon. Early 11 a.m. tip-off. Great Lakes Christian in town for Community Schools Day on this special occasion. Couldn't make it to today if you couldn't watch live. Remember, this game will be archived on the LTU Athletics YouTube channel and Facebook page, where you can watch all 15 LTU women's basketball home games this season. Blue Devils off to another big first half start. Now into the second here. 59 spot in that first half. Won last Saturday by 66. Great Lakes Christian College in town on this Wednesday morning. Coming in from Delta Township, Michigan, Lansing area. Private four-year university. They've struggled over the last couple of years on the women's basketball court. Great LTU beat them 121-77 a season ago as Klein gets the second half off to a nice start with a triple, picking up right where they left off. 7 of 19 in that opening half from distance. Caitlin Smith, who's on the floor right now, she went 4 of 8 from deep at 15 points. That's Klein's second triple of the game. She has 8 now. One of the lone bright spots in that first half was Derville for this Great Lakes Christian College team. Only went 5 for 17, but had 11 points. At least sparked some sort of, I guess, not momentum, but energy, if you will. Tried to push it up and down there. You can see her speed on display. She'll have to be the leader on this team if Great Lakes Christian College wants to see any sort of success this year offensively, and she's taken on a big role coming in out of Pleasantville, New Jersey, in just her second collegiate game. Freshman from Deerfield Beach High School. One of 4 freshmen for Great Lakes Christian. Crusaders are now 0 for 4 at the line. One of the many areas that they've struggled in this game. Running what looks like some sort of a 2-3 zone here, but able to get down low and finish easily. Danielle Hansen. 64-13 now. Blue Devils on their way, barring a monumental, that's probably an understatement, collapse in the second half. They'd be on their way to a 4-1 start. Got off to a 5-0 start a season ago. Derville, she might as well just keep triggering here. Klein the board. Out there with Bannis, Buckingham, Hansen, and Smith. Easy walkway to the elbow there for Bannis, unable to hit. And back come the Crusaders with Valerie Copper. Throwing it away there was Mystic Striker. Blue Devils had numbers quite often in that first half. Really got off to an energetic start on the break. Buckingham blocked on the break there. Valerie Copper did well to get back. Good to still see the effort on display from this Crusader team, despite being down 51 points right now. You wonder if a coach will even look back on the film of a game like this if you're on the wrong side of it, as Buckingham knocks down the jumper. On the other side, the Blue Devils' ball movement has been exquisite. They've taken advantage of the fast break, taken advantage of turnovers. 20 assists. That's something that this Blue Devil team did well a season ago, moving the ball around. They've picked up right where they left off in that category from last year. And this highly anticipated senior for head coach Kylie Biggs, as Smith is open here, off the mark from distance. She's cooled down a bit since that hot first quarter. Didn't take long for her to get going again from distance after last Saturday. She was the star of that victory against Wright State Lake. Went 6 of 6 from distance in the first half for 18 points. It was a Klay Thompson-esque performance. Curling off a screen here is Stryker. They'll need her to hit shots from downtown in this offense for Great Lakes Christian. They struggle in the half court. We see it again there. Kind of taking a while to get going, but Hanson stood her ground down low. Blue Devils were satisfied with the defensive performance down low last time out. You think they will be again here. Hanson and Price have done very well. Hope Dollar-Hyde had a great first half. Gets triple team there. That left Klein open. Came up well short. I don't believe that shot hit the rim. Shot clock didn't reset. Meanwhile, Fisher in the corner. She hits from downtown. That's the 9th three-pointer for the Blue Devils in this one. One away from 70 now. And Buckingham, the defensive play. Great Lakes Christian has 2 back. Buckingham settles it down. Now Klein looks inside for cutting Buckingham. Curls the baseline, unable to finish. Dollar-Hyde, a nice effort on the board. Ball was thrown off. Looks like a blue jersey. It'll stay with the Blue Devils here. Van is called for the travel. Bit more of a choppy start to this second half in comparison to what felt like a free-flowing up and down beginning of the first half. It really had this crowd electrified. It was a 16-0 start to this game in favor of LTU. They can be well on their way to holding a team to under 30 points in a game for the second straight outing. We'll ask Coach Biggs about this defensive performance after this one, as Great Lakes Christian does answer there with a 3 to hit the 16 mark. All the post-game coverage coming up on the Blue Devils social media channels. You can follow the LTU Women's Basketball Twitter and Facebook page for all of your updates. Behind-the-scenes interviews, photos, coverage of the games, updates on our LTU Sports Report that will air highlights of this one next Monday on Fox Sports Detroit, every Monday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I watched the show earlier this week and saw last week's highlights. Little mini run here for Great Lakes Christian, their longest of the game at 5 in a row now. Vanis looking to end that. She does. Vanis now with 6 points on 2 of 3 from deep. Here she comes the other way with her fellow guard Fisher. Another easy bucket in transition. Timeout called here. Frustration from the Crusaders. And we'll be back in about 60 seconds on LTSN.
Timeout LTU. Blue Devils call a 30-second timeout.
Welcome back to LTSN. Blue Devils at 3-1 on the year. Lone loss on the season is to Siena Heights. Had won 4 straight over the Saints prior to that loss. It was somewhat of a revenge game for the Saints. They had lost on this floor, loss that ended their season in the WAC playoffs last season. LTU will certainly be looking ahead to that rematch, but this LTU team has said they're taking it day by day. January 16th is that next matchup against Siena Heights. WAC play will be fully underway on the 14th when the Blue Devils go on the road to face Madonna as Landgolf knocks down the triple. We've mentioned her improvements throughout this season. Learned under Banis a season ago. Learned from the likes of Haley Walkowski, who was also playing at guard spot, rotating around between the 1-2. She pretty much played every position, but Landgolf, she's been a bright spot on this season. And when you lose a player like Walkowski, you need other players to step up in the following year and improve their game. Landgolf has done just that. She's facing pressure in the backcourt here. Was able to draw the foul. Blue Devils up by 59. They won by 66 last Saturday. That was the biggest win under head coach Kylene Biggs. Could they top that for a second consecutive game? I mentioned last year the Blue Devils dominated Great Lakes Christian College, beating them 83-35. That was a November 8th matchup last season. That was also on this home floor. That followed up a huge win for the program over Division I University of Detroit Mercy at Detroit Mercy last season. Big win that was a part of a 5-0 start. Blue Devils will head into the Leah Whitaker Memorial Tournament this weekend down in Marion, Indiana, where they will see Indiana Western, the team that was their first loss a season ago by 1 point. That should be a thrilling matchup. Can't wait to see that one. Another big test coming up for LTU before we get into WAC play. Price finishes, and the Blue Devils hit the 80 mark. 81-18 now. Another blowout inside of the Riddler. Once again, big matchup tonight here on LTSN at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. WAC volleyball playoffs. Blue Devils taking on UNOH in the 4-5 matchup. Landgolf the other way here for LTU. Wraps it around, finds Ruster. Can she hit this? She can. Alex Ruster, the senior, one of 3 seniors on this Blue Devil team. Psychology major from Warren, Michigan. Her playing time has been up from last season. Very versatile player that can open up the floor for this LTU team if they do perhaps get into one of those type of half court, deep into the shot clock, grinded out matchups where he gets physical. Maybe she could open things up against a team like Siena Heights and perhaps throw off a defense like that, as Fisher is fouled there on their way up the floor. This might be a technical foul here. That looks like a possible trip. Initially, I thought that maybe there was a leg stuck out from Derville. And now they're talking about it with on the Great Lakes Christian sideline. Head coach Lionel McCray having a discussion with the ref. It will be considered a non-basketball play. Could have been a dangerous play there as Fisher was going up the floor with speed. And Derville, who's been the lone bright spot for Great Lakes Christian on this afternoon, did stick out that leg. We've seen that in college basketball over the past couple of years, mentioned as kind of a controversial play. Not sure how much malicious intent was meant there. But nonetheless, the Blue Devils now up 86-18 and have the ball back with just over 90 seconds to play in the third. Ruster starting to heat up from distance. The Blue Devils beginning to find their groove once again from downtown. The groove that was such a factor in the early goings in this one that got them off to a 16-zip start. Looking to put up 100 points in the game for the second straight season. Ruster calling for the foul there, going for the board on the loose ball. Just over a minute to go in the third. Don Riddler Fieldhouse, a pleasure to be with you again for this early morning matchup. We are into the afternoon now, just past noon in Southfield. Remember, this sparkling offensive performance will be archived on the LTU Athletics YouTube channel. 89-18. Jumper taken there over the outstretched arm of Price, around and out, but it looks like we'll stay at this end of the floor as Johnson, sophomore forward from Lansing, tried to put it up there. Azura Shotwell, who started this one out of Indianapolis, Indiana, checks back in for Great Lakes Christian. Dollar Hyde the board. She's been on the floor a lot tonight. Coach Biggs has liked her performance. Landgolf driving, unable to get the scoop shot to go, but Price is there to clean things up. Half a minute to go in the third. Once again, we'll have all your post-game coverage. Derek Blalock down on the sidelines will interview Coach Biggs and a couple of Blue Devil players after this win that will put them to 4-1. 91-19. Score just sounds kind of mythical for the second straight game. 5 seconds to go now in this third quarter. Ruster, she's been hot in this quarter. Finishes with it with a three. "94 points through three." They won on Saturday 95-29. That was a 25-1 run over the last 5 minutes to end the quarter. We'll go to break for a quick minute and be back for the fourth here inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse. "94-19 is the wild score once again here inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse. Hope Dollarhide, she's had a nice performance off there on the jumper. It'll be interesting what the takeaway of this game is head coach Eileen McCrae and the Great Lakes Christian team. LTU felt that they got back into their rhythm offensively last Saturday against Wright State Lake. They certainly did that. Ruster, she's been in a rhythm from deep, knocks it down. Now her and Smith both have 4 triples on the day. It's been a shooting exhibition. Ruster with 16 points on 4 of 6 from downtown in 11 minutes. Smith on the bench right now has 15 on 4 of 10 from downtown. Smith is, I believe, 11 of 17 from downtown in her last 2. Ruster's been looking for that shot. This time she'll put it on the deck and finish in a different way. But same result. Ball in the hoop, and the Blue Devils are 1 away from hitting the 100 mark. Ruster right on cue there again with the board. Fisher can push. They've done it in a multitude of ways. Fisher wants to push. Now she wants to dish. And Price off the mark, but Dollarhide chases down the offensive board. Blue Devils winning just about every category in this one. Out rebounding Great Lakes Christian in this half, 17 to 11. Looks like the bucket was called off there. 17 offensive boards in the game for LTU. Ball has really been whipping around. Total of 31 assists. Ruster now with a double-double. 18 points, 11 boards. She sparkled. They were looking for her again there, but the pass was into traffic from Fisher. Striker to Johnson down low. Derville off the mark. There to clean things up. Copper. Copper now with 5 points on the day, but shooting just 1 for 11. As a team, Great Lakes Christian just 9 for 59. Blue Devils go back shooting at a 54% clip. A season of expectation. There was a feeling of anticipation coming into this season. Blue Devils bouncing back after a loss to Siena Heights. Couple of big wins on their way to another. 6:39 to play in the 4th. We'll be right back here on LTSN, your home for Blue Devil women's basketball. Welcome back to LTSN. 3 from Fisher. Off the mark there, but another offensive board, the 18th of this game. Fisher diving to the cup and finishing. Fisher has 16, one of 4 players in double digits for LTU. Fisher, Ruster, Smith, and Buckingham, all with over 15 points in this one. Fisher's leaking out the other way here. Looking for another off the high glass. For 18 now, matching Ruster for the team lead. Derville with 11 on 5 for 22, shooting back the other way for the Crusaders. Lost it. Possession arrow will stay down at this end. Derville off the inbounds pass. Tyler Hyde now with 10 boards on the day to go along with 8 points. One of 2 players for LTU with 10 boards. He tried to feed her down low there off a fingertip. The Blue Devils now up 103-25. The lead is 78. Can the Blue Devils make it 80? Perhaps 81 there as Kendall Fisher was looking for the 3. The drive here from Mystic gets it around and down. This Community Schools Day crowd has been alive and well. Under 5 to go now in the 4th. Wraparound pass Fisher. Ruster, can she hit another 3? That went off the mark from long distance. The bucket has been very wide for more than a few Blue Devils today. Smith and Ruster, the 2 sharpshooters on the floor right now for LTU. They're looking to get going in transition here. They might have numbers. Smith will go to the cup, and she'll finish easily. You see in the NBA a lot nowadays where a shooter like Smith will actually opt not to go for that layup and maybe pull out and try to hit another 3, but they go with the safe opportunity there and make it 105-27. Not bad. Ruster will come in here, or Price rather, sorry, will come in here for Caitlin Smith. Guard from Holly checks out for the guard from Springsboro, Ohio. From Tiffin University. Obviously Coach Biggs, also from Tiffin, played there. So did Coach Patton, who's sitting to the left of her. Nice spin move down low from Dollaride, couldn't quite get the roll. And hopping back the other way comes Copper, diving into the paint, finishing, and going to the line for one more. It was Mystic Striker, rather. Played 28 minutes in the opening half. She's been out there for the majority of the second as well. Striker hits, and the Crusaders hit the 30 mark. We had spoken about the fact that that's going to be an interesting call there. They're going to say Landgolf's foot was over the line on the inbound pass, something that you can't do. And the Crusaders will get the ball back there. One of the few mental errors that the Blue Devils have committed this afternoon. They quickly get the ball back. Or will they here on a loose ball? Klein, yes, settles it down. LTU did hold Wright State Lake under 30 in that last game on Saturday. That certainly would have been tough to do for 2 straight games, but with 3:30 to play, this has been an outstanding defensive performance, once again forcing plenty of turnovers. They feasted off of those turnovers last season, and they've done much of that again this year. The travel there called on the Crusaders. Landgolf, nice play made there from Copper, and back to the way, sidestepping is Derville. Derville now with 13. Has almost half of Great Lakes Christian's points. Klein, the Fort Wayne, Indiana native, finds her fellow sophomore. Landgolf off. Ruster there again. Dominating the boards tonight. Alex Ruster with 12. Dollarhide also has 12. Ruster has 13 now, rather, to go along with 20 points. Turning and shooting there was Johnson. She'll get a second opportunity here at it. This pass nearly throwing away. A balletic tiptoe performance there to save it from Derville. Now she'll get a return feed here. Under 10 on the shot clock for Johnson. Long possession here, Angela Travel. So they are able to get the offensive board, able to save it from going across the half-court line. But then another deflating possession ends with a travel. 2 minutes to go. Dollarhide now with a double-double. 10 points to go along with 12 boards in 22 minutes. Having her best performance of the season so far. This young season for LTU that they will improve to 4-1 on. 0-1 in the WAC. $77-point lead for LTU. On their way to back-to-back 60-point wins. Landgolf driving and getting fouled there.
GLCC number 11, and the line for your Blue Devils, number 23, Emily Landgolf.
Free throw line was another bright spot for LTU in this one, 10 of 13. They'll finish 15 of 36, most likely from deep if they don't hit another one. Over 40%. Held Great Lakes Christian College to under 20% shooting. Once again, after this one, Grace College on November 9th to kick off the Leah Whitaker Memorial Invitational. First 5 games at home for LTU. Went 4-1 in that 5-game home stretch. Klein in the corner. A late 2-on-1 for Great Lakes Christian. They haven't been able to capitalize on opportunities like that all game long. It's been a reoccurring theme, along with turnovers. Just not getting back defensively. LTU certainly took advantage of that. Blue Devils have number 15 Indiana Westland after a matchup with Grace College. That makes that next matchup against Grace College feel much bigger. Certainly amplifies the importance of it after the early season loss. That'll be at 8 p.m. on November 9th. We'll be back here on November 17th at 1 p.m. when UNOH comes to town. LTU closes this one out with a 79-point win. Largest under head coach Kylene Biggs. They've broken that record now in back-to-back games. Brilliant performances all around. Sparkling offensive output. Excellent defensive effort. LTU improves to 4-1 on the season. We'll be back for more LTU women's basketball on November 17th. WAC play will be in full swing when that time comes around. We'll get a salute from this great Community Schools Day crowd here that showed up and showed up well. Once again, later tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. LTU women's playoff volleyball. UNOH coming to town for a big one, 5-4 matchup. Signing off, I'm Jason Ross Jr. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon.